Hi there. Welcome back to Being Your Ray. I hope you're doing well. For today's episode, I about the relationship that I have with my parents and how it has evolved over the years because I feel with Indian parents, there's so much that goes on, and there is this whole cycle that you need to survive and make peace with. I think I say make peace with a lot of times, like the word or phrase or whatever, because I feel half of growing up is just doing that, learning to make peace with things around you instead of getting angry, frustrated, and worked up by those things. And I think it happens a lot in your 20s and in your teens as well. And family is like a huge part of it all. So I knew I had to address this at some point. I just did not know I would do it this early. But yeah, I feel it's important to. And yeah, I would love to share my 2 cents on this thing. All right. So I'm an only child, and both my parents are working. So ever since I was a kid, I have been hyper independent in the sense that I know my way with living alone. Early on, I was in a babysitting, and then I think in my fourth or fifth grade, I told my parents that I don't want to go there anymore because I was among the eldest kids and I just wanted to shift. So yeah, I started living alone, and it felt like I have a separate life altogether, and family wasn't really a big thing. Like, of course, we had our weekends together and the festivals together, but I had spent so much of my time alone that everything I did, the way I functioned, the thoughts that I had were very personal and weren't as much influenced by my parents. So it was all the more annoying or difficult for me to listen to them as I kept growing up because I was so used to living my own way and doing things the way I liked to. So I was given freedom in the sense that no one's checking on me constantly and what am I doing every minute of the day or something like that. But there were like normal restrictions on when you get home, what friends you have, how often you hang out with them. Like once a week or West Sub is fine, but not 2 times in a row. Sorry, 2 days in a row. So all of those things were there, and I wasn't bothered by it because I have never been someone who wants to hang out with people and go out to travel or for clubbing or things like that. I am an introvert, and I have always liked my space. So yeah, I've only had few friends, and sleepovers were never a thing. It isn't even right now. But yeah, like those things weren't as much of a problem for me. The only time I could not ignore the parenting style and the way my parents' opinions were affecting me was by the age of 17 or 18. Like, I clearly remember my 18th birthday. I was crying the whole night, and my dad kind of understood that something's wrong with me, and I was just losing my shit. I got very angry at something super, like, petty. I don't even remember. And I had like a fight with my mom over that. And my dad understood that I'm not fine. And yeah, I think that was 17 to 18 was the age when everything started kicking in. And I could see that I'm not able to have a hold on my life anymore and things are getting serious. And I just could not handle all of that pressure, especially because I was going through the phase of preparing for entrance exams and not knowing if I would be able to make it and trying to live up to the expectations that my parents have of me. But at the same time, not knowing what I really want from life and if I have it in me to commit to something. So, yeah, a lot of confusion, a lot of frustration, a lot of anger during that phase. And I feel it just kept getting worse. And it's only been recently where I have been able to calm down and have, or at least make an attempt to build a healthy relationship with my parents. And it's still in works. But yeah, I'm definitely in a better place now than I was for the past 7, 8 years, I feel. So both my parents come from a very humble beginning. And since they have seen all of the struggles that you face when you don't grow up with money, they obviously don't want me to grow or go through all of those problems in my life. So they've always wanted me to have a stable, secure future. And I think that is the case with most parents that they don't want to see you struggling the way they did. And yeah, just want that your finances are in place first, and then you can do whatever you want to do, sort of situation. So, yeah, and they just have a few resources in their mind that can bring in money, which worked out for them, and they have been conditioned in that way. So, of course, it's like going to college, getting good marks, getting a great placement, and trying to bag a good offer, which is like 1 lakh per month or at least 60 to 70K. And for me, my idea of success and freedom has always been completely different because every time I tried to adopt their mentality, I just saw myself failing and had that experience over and over again. So I really had to push myself to create my own beliefs and not give into theirs. I respect their reasons, I respect the fears that they have, which is why I don't argue about it anymore. Like, if I don't have the money to sustain myself, I am going to shut up and listen to them. But that does not mean I accept what they say to be the truth and the end all and be all for my life. So, yeah, after my entrance exams, when I got into college and saw the atmosphere there, I quickly realized that the college is not helping me build any skills, and I might not get the kind of output I expect out of this place. So I will have to do something differently over here. And that's when I started freelancing and got a few gigs, then bagged a good job while I was in college. So that was when my mom has always been like a blind supporter when it comes to my dreams, but she also has like that little fear, finance related. If that is not a problem, then she'll fully support me and be like, yeah, you go girl, and things like that. So yeah, once I started earning, my mom was totally free, and she just kept admiring me and telling me things and how she's proud of me and all of that. My dad, on the other hand, since I wasn't doing something conventional, he didn't really acknowledge it. He just felt like I was getting too quick with earning money and I should focus on my education. While I knew that I was not getting any real education or skills through college. So I had to learn things myself. And if I did not do that, if I did not get money at the end of the day, I will have to keep doing the things that I hate and that aren't sustainable for me in the long term. So when I can see clearly that I'm not good at something, I don't like doing something, there's no way that I can build a future out of it. So that's the reason I got started. It was because I was thinking about money and I just wanted to make it quickly and not study. It was actually the other way around. I genuinely wanted to learn things and get started with the process as early as possible so I can live life on my own terms and I don't have to worry about where is the money gonna come from. So I figured out the money aspect firstly, start me, and then once I was confident enough that okay, whatever I do, I can generate an income for myself, I went ahead with trying more things and experimenting with those things. So, yeah, this went on for a while, and then I left my job because I did not see any growth happening again. I just felt like I could do a lot more with my time and the potential that I have. And yeah, I should try to do something more. And all this while, I was very iffy about post grad and doing something further in education because I did not have a great experience during the college time. And so I made this full presentation trying to convince my parents to let me do my thing and allow me to not go ahead with post graduation. And after a lot of disagreements and crying and fighting, I was able to get that. And now I had like a year of doing what I wanted. I did have my freelance projects on the side. There was no way that my parents were going to let me do something myself without an income on hand, but they were still very shaky about the fact that I was not going for a post graduation. And then things took a very different turn because I had no idea that living alone an entire day, not going to college or just working from home or trying to build something yourself can get super depressing. And I did not let them know about it. I because I fought for this one thing so much, I wanted to make it work and I just could not afford to have bad days. But that is what kept happening over and over again. And I just kind of lost grip of my life. And that's when I realized that I need to have some level of accountability in my life. And maybe I'm not ready to take up all of this responsibility that I've decided to. And yeah, I thought that I could do it alone and I could make it happen and juggle between things, but that just wasn't happening. Things were very uncertain, very unpredictable, and it got to me till the point that I just could not take it anymore. and I will talk about this phase when I wish to and when it makes more sense. But right now, since the topic is more on parents and making peace with the relationship that you have with them, I'll keep this phase at a pause. And yeah, there came a point when I could see that even the freelancing is not as certain. And again, there was a career talk with my parents, like soon enough they got to know about everything. So yeah, I had to make a compromise, being fully aware that I am not able to handle things all alone and I do need help. Like, I did hate my whole college experience, but the one thing that it gave me was an environment and a set of friends that kept my spirits high and gave me like a lot of confidence in whatever I was doing. I was always productive, even if there weren't any lectures happening. I would go to the library, I would do something of myself by myself, or research on something. So yeah, it just that environment and being around people was crucial for me. And I did not recognize that while I was in college, but as I was having that experience now, and when I was completely secluded from everything, I realized that without accountability and without the environment, I am not able to push myself in any way possible. And even if I think of joining, like I did try joining some online groups and stuff like that, but it does not work as much as it does offline. And offline, the thing is, everyone is very busy with their lives. So again, it is kind of difficult to find someone on the same wavelength and work together and build something. Or at least when you're going to college, you have discussions, you are trying to do something productive with your time. But when you're alone, when you're your own boss or whatever that is, when you have to design every single part of your life by yourself, you start to feel overwhelmed after a point. And also because you don't know how things will pan out and there is no structure, there is no way of going about things. It's just trying, and hoping that it works at some point. So, yeah, my parents were, of course, not going to buy that narrative that someday it will work and you can have as much time as you want. And yeah, so the compromise that I was talking about was preparing for my post grad only because I felt like it would help bring some structure to my life, some changes in my environment, and socially help me stay accountable as well. And I know it's not like the best way to go about things, but just choice that I am making, and I know the pros and cons now very well. I did not know about it in the past, but the only two options that were given to me was taking up a job or taking a degree. And working multiple jobs at this point, like freelance projects, I had understood that a job will not do it for me right now. Like, I still want to explore. And even after these 2 years of post grad, I don't get to the place that I want to be. I will accept things for what they are and take up a job or do something about it. But right now, at the phase that I'm in, I do not want to take up any shady jobs and regret it again and put my time and effort in a 9 to 5. It would drain me out fully. So, yeah, out of the two options I had, I thought of going ahead with the degree route. And if I had to make the same decision a year ago, I would have had so much of hate and anger against my parents, and I wouldn't have been able to deal with it well. But now that I've had this time to myself and really seen the consequences of my choices and the fears that they have in their mind, I can empathize with them. Like, the only thing that my dad told me is just keep yourself in our shoes and think with that lens for once. And that was when I was able to make sense of things and how difficult it must be for them to deal with the uncertainty along with me. And I just didn't want that. My parents have done everything possible on their end from their level of understanding to provide a good life to me, whereas I haven't really given them the confidence that I should have in the first place. Like, all the confidence that I had built up during my college final years, and like in my third and fourth year of doing something by myself, I lost it all away when the environment and accountability was taken away from me. And I saw my confidence crushing with it every single day. So, having seen both of those worlds, I was able to look at the bigger picture and understand their perspective as well. And I know I wouldn't have been able to do that if they did not give me the chance to go ahead with my dreams or the plans that I had in my head. And of course, they allowed me to do that because I had a job in the first place. But even then, I feel like it wasn't an easy decision for them. Whereas I was very sure that I was going to kill it and make it big and make them proud. But the realization did dawn upon me, and I again circled back to being a confused and lost 20-year-old somehow. Sorry, 23-year-old. So, yeah, I couldn't blame them for anything because they did their best. I did their best. Sorry, I did my best to try and do what I had in my mind and follow it. But you cannot always predict how things are gonna go, or what kind of situation you'll be in, what will affect you, what will change the course of your life. It is only through living that you understand all of these things. So I don't have any regret about this whole experience. It has only helped me understand what is important for me and what isn't, so I can take better decisions going forward. But I wouldn't have this understanding if they would just neglect my opinions or my way of thinking. So, yeah, I kind of just saw this as an opportunity to get everything back together and like pull myself back again. And yeah, there's a lot to unpack over here, and a lot of hurt and guilt that I've felt, but that's a lot of vulnerability as of now. I'll try to address it later. It wasn't an easy thing to do, and it has been a long, long journey this far. But apart from trying to understand their perspective, there are also two other things that I want to mention that has helped me heal my relationship with my parents. Is one is this line that I heard in a podcast on Yuva. I think that's the name. with Baman Irani and Avinash Tiwari when they came for the promotion of their film, The Mehta Boys. Amazing film, by the way. Loved it. Fully recommended to anyone who is into emotion heavy and close to life related films. It's super wholesome and super relatable. So I loved the film, and when I was watching that podcast, they talk about the father-son relationship, and there's a part where Avinash Tiwari, who plays the role of the son in the film, mentions that I am able to do things today because I am sitting on the shoulders of my dad, and because of him, I'm able to see the world and do whatever because he has given that freedom to me and I am on his shoulder. And that just hit me so hard. It really brought me back to like it was like a whole flashback of all the comforts that I've had in my life and everything that I have till this point is because of my parents, is because I'm sitting on their shoulders. I don't even know the kind of struggles they have been through or go through on a regular basis to bring me to this point. So, unless I don't build something of myself till that level, I can't expect them to have complete confidence on me and leave all my major life decisions on my merit. And if that has to happen, I have to show it to them. There is no other way out. Only when I started earning money, I had some amount of freedom in the decisions that I was making or something like that. So yeah, it's very clear in my head right now that the amount of confidence that your parents will have on you or the freedom that you'll have is directly proportional to what you show to them. What results are you able to bring on paper that is clearly visible to them, that will help them build faith in you? Only when you're able to achieve that can you expect them to understand you better. But if you're not there yet, and it's just a plan in your mind which hasn't translated into a result, you can't expect them to understand it because they don't come from that age. They don't have the resources that you do, and they haven't lived the life that you do or the life that you envision for yourself. So they need to have something concrete in front of their eyes to be able to believe in you and to even understand it in the first place. They will try their best, but you have to try your best to show that in your efforts, and those efforts will mean more than anything. So I don't argue with them unless my efforts don't match up to what they expect out of me or what I expect out of my own life. So, yeah, today I have enough understanding and experience to see that my efforts haven't spoken up and aren't matching yet. So I need to kind of tone down a bit and not hold anything against them because they are right in their own way. And I can disagree with them, but I can't disagree with the fact that at the end of the day, they want me to stand on my feet and be happy doing whatever I do. So if I'm able to do that, be it my way or their way, it is going to